But the good news is that although they thought it would be the end of Jesus, they didn't realize that the cross was actually the end, but not as they thought so. Because remember, the word end has a couple of meanings. The first one, of course, is that it's over. Right? The end of a football game is that the final seconds click off and the game's done. The end of a baseball game is that third out in the ninth inning. That's the end. And so the authorities thought that by putting Jesus to death on the cross, they come to the end. But there is another meaning of the word end, and it means goal. The end of a football game is to score more points than the other team. Something we'd like to see down the street at Ford Field. We keep praying. Right? The end of a baseball game is to score more runs than the other team, and thank God last couple of years we see more of that. But the end of Jesus, his goal, the entire reason that the second person of a Holy Trinity came down from heaven, took flesh, was born as a child, and lived and ministered and taught among us, was so that he could pay that price of sin and die. That we may be forgiven, we may be reconciled to Jesus, to his Father, through Jesus Christ. But, you see, there is another problem. You see, God is love. And Jesus is God. He's the second person of the Trinity. And one of the things we know is that death cannot destroy love. And the grave could not hold the one who is life himself. And as he said to his disciples, as was predicted throughout the Scriptures, as was promised in the sending of the Savior to the people of Israel, Jesus Christ on the third day rose from the dead. Death could not hold the author of life. And so it is. Those disciples who in all the chaos of Good Friday and all the sorrow and anxiety of Holy Saturday, not knowing what was going to happen, and perhaps even thinking that they had wasted their last couple of years because their Lord and Master was now dead, return to the tomb and find it empty. Not only do they find it empty, but they see this scene right here on our Reredos, our Super Reredos. That's the angel announcing the resurrection to the women. Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen, as he promised. He has risen, as he promised. And that resurrection doesn't just matter to those before. And I got news for you. At the end of time, we too will rise with our mortal bodies to give account. We say in the creed that we believe in the resurrection of the dead. On that day, the cemeteries, the earth and the sea, our columbarium and the chapel will give up its dead, and they will have, like Jesus, a resurrection body. But it doesn't just mean then, and it doesn't just mean into the future. But you and I, brothers and sisters, by the gift of the cross of Jesus Christ, now have access to the Father